You know, something that I found very impressive is that my glasses have this tinted coating, so every time I go out and I have the sun touch the lens, it automatically darkens everything. But even if that's the case, surprisingly, it actually tracks where my eye would be, which is kind of weird. Hello everyone, this is Eric. I just wanted to go through a few reasons why I do think you should consider having cinema color grade. Now, one thing that I always struggled with was having to color grade some footage to look a certain way. I've had some experience with Colorista. I had some experience with Lumetri Color within Adobe Premiere. Unfortunately, there's always been some sort of setback. So for example, with Colorista, you pull up a clip, it opens up its own separate window. And with that window, you can edit that one clip the way you want it to look. But when it comes to copy and pasting onto other similar like clips, you always have to change something, whether it's the exposure, whether it's the saturation or something, because the lighting always changes depending on the situation you're in. So that was a no-go for me. The second thing that was available to me was Lumetri Color when that came out to Adobe Premiere. That was pretty exciting because you had a lot more tools at your disposal all in one panel while trying to monitor your scopes, which was still something new to me at the time. Over time, it did become easier, but in some ways, it still didn't quite feel right to me. And now in March 9th, 2022, a few weeks ago from today, I just learned about Cinema Grade, and I've seen it around for a few things for Apple products, but they just now released it for Windows, which is great. That's primarily what I have right now, and thanks to my little brother, we got a decent computer that can finally run this 4K footage that you're seeing from the FX3. The real reason why I think it's worth your time is because it really did make the process that much simpler for me. So let me go ahead and just put this into flat picture profile. This is S-Log3 that you're seeing right now. And when I try to color grade it, I didn't have a lot of confidence, and you can see why. The colors seem a little weird. There's some weird things happening with the shadows. Like no matter what I try to do, it didn't come out right, and that always bothered me and didn't really make me feel like I was adequate to be a filmmaker. But after trying out Cinema Grade, literally the first time, I realized it was such an easy process. You know, having to change the exposure, tweak the saturation, all by pointing and clicking. If you wanted to, you can select certain parts like the midtones or like the highlights, and you can drag those up and down to kind of control it. And something that was just really helpful that I've never used, but I've heard about, and very common in external monitors, was false color. I've never used false color before, but once I understood how it worked, it actually made my footage that much more professional. So just to show you something pulled me through in the editing was this video clip of me recording some people doing some pyrotechnics. So I've actually shot some of it in really dark areas. The only light there was the moonlight and the fire that they were spewing out from their instruments. And it was really hard to focus. I had to shoot manually in some occasions, but I think I got the shots pretty well considering. But even then, there's that step of like how it's going to look in the final product. And in some of the shots, I was actually able to tweak those certain parameters with confidence and still go for an artistic look. And to clarify that, we'll go to the second half of that same video where the scene had mostly turned blue. There was a spotlight that was just really bright orange. So I had a white balance for it. Of course, in turn, my two daylight colored LEDs that I had in the back had a blue color to them. Now that was partially intended, but that was very saturated of the kind of blue I was going for, but it worked for the scene. Because in the earlier shots, we actually managed to have this warm up kind of phase. And if you look at a fire long enough, you can tell that the blue center part is where it gets really hot. So transitioning it to a blue kind of situation actually kind of makes sense. And for artistic appeal, it's just something different than what you normally see on a day-to-day, and that's why I stuck with it. But using Cinema Grade, I was actually able to balance between the shots that I shot in S-Log3 and in Cinetone, which I do use Cinetone on occasion if I need something really quick or something that may not even need to be graded. But in this situation, I was taking some photos, forgot to switch it back, but that's okay because I can definitely have the confidence to make them match, or if not, then do something that just makes it look incredible. I am going to edit a few clips with you right now to actually show you how simple it really is. And I thought something that would be very simple to do is with a Nerf gun. As you can see, it has a very blue color with a very orange color, and I thought because of saturation reasons and exposure and whatnot, that doing some shots with this would actually help demonstrate how useful this tool can be. So there you have it. There's a few clips. I hope that was kind of informative. I actually do enjoy using this program, and I do think if you are a beginner like me, at least trying to get your foot into the industry, it really does help you out a lot and saves up a lot of time. From my experience having from clip to clip to clip and just grouping it together and just having it all have the same kind of grade, and just see that side-by-side comparison and make those small tweaks and adjustments really do make the whole process a whole lot easier. So that's just my first impressions on this whole thing, but this is why I do think it is worth your time. So it may not be for you, it may be something that you're not interested in, and frankly I think you can get by without the program, but I personally think I'll be sticking to it because one, I already paid for it, and two, just it really has made such a huge impact on my production value that I was able to distribute out to even YouTube. So hopefully it's something that you're willing to consider. I'm not sure if it is right now, but I think that it is possible to try out a trial of the program. So just let me know what your thoughts are, and hopefully I'll see you guys around. Later. Oh, sorry, one more thing. Something that actually did help me out a lot was to get the correct exposure and the correct white balance. I think you could use different kinds of tools. I know that they have the Passport video thing. I don't have enough money for that. But I did invest it into this, an Expo disc, that was very helpful for me. So instead of just having a white sheet of paper and using that as white balance and everything turns out really funky for some reason, I actually do use this a lot because I do think it gives me more color accurate colors. And especially with me using an ND filter, if you've used one at all, you can definitely tell there's some slight tinting in that factor. So definitely something worth to consider, and hopefully this helps you out. And yeah, I guess I'll see you around.